Hello all. So today I'm going to do a car review on the Skoda Octavia Mark III. It's a nice looking car. It's VRS petrol, and as you can see, it'll be the 2 litre engine, the 2 litre turbocharged. It's top of the range one. So this is the Mark III facelift actually, because the Mark III's, when they first came out, it was the one-piece headlight system. But on the Mark IIIa, which was done around, that's like a facelift, they put the split headlights on them. The Mark III came out in 2013 and it lasted up to 2020, thereabouts, where it was replaced with the Mark IV, the next generation up. So I've done a video on the Mark IV already on my channel. I own a Mark IIa, a Mark II Octavia, which is that one there. I'll put links in the description to this video because I've done like videos, reviews on other Octavias. So, but I haven't done the Mark III yet, the Mark IIIa. So what I'll do is I'll turn it around. I'll show you footage inside the car. I'll show you footage all around the car. I'll show you under the bonnet. I'll show you in the boot. I'll get on my hands and knees and I'll show you underneath as well, because I like the technical side of things as well. I like seeing the parts, the mechanical parts. So. And we'll also get a test drive of it as well. So I'll have this camera mounted on in the dash inside there, and I'll get footage while I drive it, and I'll let you know how I like it, and I'll like the car, and I'll give you the review on that, how it feels, what it's like to drive, etc. So I'll do that as well, but I'll do the round video first, and I'll do the all around the car, all around the inside, under the bonnet. I'll do all that now, and then I'll do the driving bit later, after that. The first thing I'll do is I'll turn this on and start showing you the exterior of the Mark III Skoda Octavia, or Mark III facelift, or Mark IIIa, whatever you want to describe it as. And it's the 2068 plate, so that'll be the later part of 2018 or early 2019. So it's about be coming up for 4.5-year-old. Right, so I'll turn this on and show you. So it's a nice looking car. I like the hatchback version, so it's a saloon looking version. It's got it's like alloys, but it's the black version. It really suits the car. It's got the twin exhausts as well, being the VRS. I'll have the double disc on the rear. It's discs all round. The lower spec ones will be a solid disc for the rear brakes, but this being higher spec, it's got double vented discs on the rear, and it'll have them on the front as well. All of them have double vented discs on the front, but the high performance ones have the double vents on the back as well. Vented disc. That's what I mean by vented disc. It's 2 discs and there's vented between them for the brakes, disc brakes all round. Just as a very brief comparison, that's the Mark IV model parked next to it. As I say, I've done a video on the Mark IV already, so I'll try and remember to put links in the channel to this video, and you can watch that as well. So this is just to compare them. So I'll get on my hands and knees and I'll have a look underneath. I'll put the camera, I'll point the camera underneath. I'll start with the front and then I'll go around. quite difficult and not quite as fit as it used to be. It's hard because the inspection pit would be handy for that. Oh god, pauses. Right, I'll have a look under the near side. And I'll have a look underneath the rear. So it's got like a split or a Y-type exhaust, double tailpipe. I'll have a look under the offside. God, I had to get back to the gym. Oh jeez, I'm nuts. Oh dear. Things I do. Oh gosh, I like it back at the gym. That is, I'm not as fit as it used to be. That was quite hard work. If I was younger and fitter, didn't that no bother, I was able to at one time. I like to get back to shape, I really do. That's why I work on the buses, so it's not the healthiest job for keeping the weight off. Oh, as sunny as it is today, it's absolutely freezing. This is March 2023, March the, oh god, I can't remember the dates. Friday the second Friday, I can't remember the date. It doesn't matter, but it's blooming cold anyway. But besides that, let's get back onto the subject. And so this is the petrol version, petrol 2 litre. Now I'm going to show you under the bonnet, and then I'll show you around. In fact, I'll show you the boot first of all, and then I'll show you under the bonnet, and then I'll show you around the interior. So we'll start with the boot. We'll open up the boot. So it's just the usual setup for opening the boot. Just pull that, just press that there, that button. Just the usual setup. And being next to the Octavia, the boots are absolutely massive. Actually, I'm going to get back to the review. There's the guy's going to give it a wee clean. I'll show you the car moving on. So he's going to give it a wee jet wash and clean for us as well. So just a little view of what it looks like when it's dry. He was just, I was just going to show you the boot, so I'll get back to that as soon as he's washed the car for me. He's going to do a wee video himself on it. So it's very good of them to lend me the car for this video. So as you say, once he's give it a wee jet wash, I'll show you the interior for the boot, then I'll show you under the bonnet, and then I'll show you all around the inside, and then I'll go for a test drive in it as well, show you the footage of it being driven. Now that's my car, my own car. As I say, that's a Mark 2A Skoda Octavia hatchback. I'll turn that window. So just as a wee sort of comparison, they look very, very similar profiles. As I say, I've done a video on my channel. I'll try and remember to put all the links in the description to this video with regarding the reviews for the Skoda Octavia. And my own car, my personal car, mine's it's the 1.8 TSI petrol turbo. Really appreciate Skoda doing that, allowing me to do this. So I'm just going to wait on them giving it a wee clean, and then I'll get back to you. So right now, it's a lovely day, although it's blooming cold. I'm looking at one of the buses, that's Dundee's electric buses, that's the company I work for, Explore Dundee, and it's on the 28 service, 0 emissions, fully electric, Alexander Dennis Enviro 400 EV, and it's on the 28 service from Meyerkirk to Douglas and back again. So if you're in Dundee and you're a bus spotter like myself, then you could try, if you want to try them out, then you could. So they're quite silent. I've driven them, but me being a petrol head and a diesel head, I prefer the old school and old fashioned, the old internal combustion engines. So I suppose I could show you some of the cars. Well, and no, what I won't, because I'll make the video too long. I'm just going to pause it and wait till he comes back, because it'll just be too long. I was going to show you around some of like models, but I'm not going to. Right, so I'm just, the next footage you'll see is where I left off. So it's somebody coming in. Okay, right, I'll see you in a bit. See you in a couple of minutes. Right, just to save editing and while the car's getting washed. That, by the way, I made a mistake on my part. That's a Skoda Superb. That's not an Octavia, that's a Superb. But the Octavia Mark IV does look very similar to that. So just, I'm not going to edit it all at the time. But I'll just tell you that's the bigger size. That's the model up from the Octavia. I was a wee bit peeved when I noticed that, because it's not overly. Well, in fact, I've got it right this time. There's a Mark IV there, although it's a customer's one, so I can't really show it because it's customer. I can only just very briefly show you. But I've done it in my video anyway. But that's a Mark IV Skoda Octavia. As I say, I've done a full review on it on my channel. I'll put the links in the description. So sorry viewers, I got that wrong. That's the Skoda Superb. So I'm not going to edit it at any time. I'll just let you know. If you watch the video through, you'll know. Anyway, but it looks very similar. It's a nice little car. So I was just having a walk around here while I'm waiting on the car getting cleaned, and I kind of jumped the gun. I was filming the Octavia and I just looked at the front. Because I'm not overly familiar with it and still learning. That's why I'm here and learning the models as showing you as well. So you are learning also if you don't already know that, if you're interested. I kind of get adjusted. It's a great day, but it's one of these fidgety days like when nothing seems to, you know. Right, so I'm just waiting on that car. Like I say, I'll wait on the car coming back. They'll pick up from where I left off. So just to recap, Skoda Superb, not the Octavia. So that's my apology. That's my fault there. I mistook that from the Mark IV Octavia, but it isn't. The Mark IV Octavia I've done already on the channel. You think I would know of by heart, but I'm learning. That's why I'm here. As much as I'm showing you, I'm actually here learning about the models, the cars, and learning about them. So I think that's it, ready. Right, so let's pick up from where I left off. Right. So that's the car all back. It's been cleaned. In fact, I'll show you around again because it's been cleaned very quickly, and then I'll get showing you inside the boot. So let's just say it's nice and clean. Jeez, you peeps, I'm just about tripping over and filming at the same time, walking back, because that would have been a great start with it and trip over. And then I'll pick up from where I left off. So I was in the boot, as I say, it opens nice and easy. It's the usual setup, mine's just got that as well, so if you're, in tall enough to reach, but if you want, this is yours to give you a hand to reach the height, because it is a big boot and the tailgate goes up quite high. Now the Skoda Octavias are really renowned for having massive boots for the car in its class. It's a Class C segment sized car for a family saloon. So Class A is just a mini car, mini sized car, micro mini. Class segment B is a sort of like your Fiesta size, you know, like a small car. So micro cars A, small cars B, family saloon medium is Class C, which is what the Octavia fits in, although the Octavia is big enough to go in Class D, which is a large family car because of its size. In fact, the Skoda Scala is in Class C as well, and it's smaller than the Octavia. The Octavia is sort of like between the C and D, so it's at the top of the C and maybe fitting in the D as well, which is large. So you're getting a large car for a Class C prices. So boot's really big, usual sort of setup for the Octavia. I'll let you hear it closing. Oh, maybe a bit too much in it. Solidly built. It's got a nice spoiler on it. Usual for the fuel, just press that and opens. Just the same as that'll be part of the central lock-in as well. Show you under the bonnet, show you the engine. I believe it's in the same area as the bonnet releases in the... Well, it's at the other side in the Mark III. I'll find it anyway, but it's got me. It's at the opposite side to the driver's side on the Mark III. So on mine, it's on the driver's side. But on the Mark IV as well, it's on the passenger side. And it's a case of just going it back and it opens. I'm going to pause this for a moment, I can't film at the same time. So, with the bonnet open, it's the old-fashioned system. They stay, you know, these bonnet stays required. The later ones, the Mark IVs, have got struts like that of the hatchback to keep the bonnet lid open. So it's a TSI, the revised version, very similar sort of to mine's. Mine's is the 1.8, this is a 2 litre, being a VRS. It'll be revised, the slightly revised petrol 2 litre engine. The bonnet layout's the same, the under bonnet layout's the same. Usual drill, air comes through the front, and this sort of little accumulator thing here into the air cleaner, the air box, air filter. The air then gets filtered. It comes up from the bottom through the filter, and then once it's filtered, it goes down this tube, this trunking or this thick pipe, flexible pipe, because that's to absorb engine vibrations. Otherwise, it would split. Because that's solid to the car body, that's to the engine, so they have to have a flexible hose bit here so that it allows for vibrations. If that were rigid, it would just snap with the engine vibrations. That's fixed to the car body, that's fixed to the engine, so they have to have that flexible bit there, just like that of the exhaust system. So air goes into the turbo at the back, gets compressed, then the air will come out the turbo, and it'll be an intercooler somewhere along the lines. The charged air will get through the intercooler, which is, I think it's air to air, it'll be at the front. So the ram air will cool the intercooler, which cools the charged air down, and then once it's intercooled, it then goes into the throttle body. And once it's in the throttle body, it's variable throttle body. Goes into the engine, gets, you know, does the combustion, 4-stroke petrol, sucks the air in, piston comes up, compression stroke, then the ignition stroke from the spark plugs. Then gives you the power stroke, piston goes down, and then once it's reached bottom dead centre, the piston then will come back up for the exhaust stroke. The exhaust gases will come out the other end of the engine, out the outlet manifold, and then that will go through the turbocharger. The high pressure gases, exhaust gases, will turn this side of the turbocharger. There's like a propeller on that side, and there's a shaft, a seal, and another propeller on the opposite side. They don't mix, it's sealed off, and that propeller sucks the air in. There's the compressor, it sucks the charge air into the inlet side of the turbo. It gets spooled round, compressed out of the turbo, through the piping into the intercooler to get cooled. That then densers the air. The cooler air's got more oxygen in it, so more oxygen in the engine, better combustion, and then the process goes over. That's just very brief, I'm not going into it too much right now. I've not had my breakfast, so I'm not really going to explain it too well. That's just very briefly. But anyway, air cleaner, batteries in the same place as the previous Mark IIs, engine module, fuses, braking clutch. Now I think this is a braking, no, this is automatic, so it might just be just for brakes, because on mine it's a 6-speed manual, and the brake and clutch share the same reservoir, but this being an automatic DSG, direct shift, it's done electrically. Transmission is buried under all this. It's a transverse engine with the transaxle, so the engine sits transversely, gearbox is under here, it's front wheel drive. It's the expansion tank for the radiator, cooling system, screen washers on this side, whereas on mine's it's on the earlier Mark IIs, it's on the off side. Right, so I'll get a couple of pictures of this while the bonnet's up. This is the very brief description of what's going on under this bonnet. You've got your dipstick there, it's a manual for checking your oil. That's your oil. Oh no, oil filler is there. The oil filler's there. Whereas on mine it's on the top edge and on the edge is back there. In fact, I'm better showing you. So that's your oil filler. That's your oil dipstick. That's your oil. Is that the filter, is it? I think that is the filter, the oil filter. It's quite small. I think that's your oil filter. It'll be the cartridge type. And that's your air conditioning pipes, and that's got air conditioning is standard. So that's just a very brief tour under the bonnet. For using my knowledge, which is limited, I just learned from in my own rate, my own hobby. I'm not an engineer or nothing, but I wish I were, but not. So I'm just sort of trying to give you a rough. I'm trying to give you a rough idea of my idea of how what's going on under here. So what I'll do now is I'll get inside the car and start showing you around about the interior. So I was trying to show you the bonnet and let you hear it and everything, but it's difficult filming at the same time. I was trying to let you hear what it sounds like, you know, the quality of it. I'll show you the door quality and all that once you get inside. So I'll just get myself in. Oh, I have to get the seat, gee whiz. Oh, I have to get the seat back. God almighty. Oh, I always like the seat right back. I need it back. I'll let you hear what the door's like. Sounds good, solid. This car's done 80,000 miles. As usual, Skoda's got tons of headroom, lots of room, and a sort of average sized large built male at 6 foot large built, and I've got lots of room. I've got size 12 feet and I've got lots of leg room. That's why I need the seat right back, and I can sit here comfortably with that, so that will give you an idea as to how much, you know, a feel as to how much room there is inside the Skoda Octavia Mark III. And the Mark IV is the same, the Mark II is the same. We'll get 3 big adults in here, no bother. Well, you'll get probably 4. You'll get 1 in the passenger, a big driver, 1 at each side on the rear, and you'll get a smaller adult or a kid or something in the centre. But there's room for 5 people. You'd be a bit squeezed to get 5 adults in here, well, because the width of the car, you know, you'll get them in legally, but the width of the Octavia is sort of similar width to the cars of its class and Class C segment, but the length is where the Skoda is bigger. It's the profile of the car is actually a little bit lower, not just because of VRS, but the actual Skoda Octavia in general. The body just sits a little bit lower, because my mate, he's got a Fiat Punto, and he parked his next to my car, and his sits a bit taller. It's actually a taller, but it's more bubble like, because his car's shorter. It's more like bubbly, whereas the Octavia is a more saloon-like looking car, so it sits a little bit lower in height. But the length is more predominant on the Skoda Octavia. But inside, there's tons of room, as I say. I give you an idea just how big it is. There's plenty of room for me. I'm very comfortable, hence why I own one, and I'm going to look into getting another one. Tons of room. The seats and that, you can adjust the height of the seat as well as the usual, the seat back and also the backrests. It's the bucket type seats, meaning it's performance seats. You're sitting in the seat rather than on the seat, because when it's been a performance car, you want to be supported, and it feels that way. So I'm going to turn the camera around and start showing you some of the instruments and dials, etc. So I'm starting at the dashboard. It's the usual. The lights are at this side, just like that on my own car. It's got the actual dials, the real dials, not the digital ones. I prefer real dials. They look very similar to my own car. Steering wheel's Nice. It's got this sort of bit here, that'd be to make it easier for getting in and out. And as you say, being an automatic, it's, you know, I've got the 2 pedals and plenty of footwell room. I mean, there's footwell there, footrest there. I've got size 12 shoes, and you can see just how much room there is in the footwells. So it's comfortable enough to accommodate big feet. The centre console is like this. I'd not really all genned up on all that. I didn't want to go and start getting into the menus because I didn't have the time. I'm not really a computer whiz, and well, far from it actually. I'm not a whiz kid on computer and stuff, so it take me a while to get used to it. But the dials, all this is all there, the usual DSG shift, 12 volt auxiliary socket. It's got the cup holder. It's got the good old fashioned handbrake, which I like. Prefer that. It's got one of those. I'll show you the actual seats as well. It's got the VRS in it. Let's just show you the glove compartment as well. It's a second hand, this car, obviously, so it's I don't know how many owners it's had. I don't know the history of it, but it's done 80,000 miles and it's in good nick. So 83,000 miles. The interior lights is what I like. Buttons, I prefer buttons to touch button. The later models got touch buttons, or touch, you know, you just touch it and it comes on. Whereas these have buttons. I prefer buttons. It's more of a positive feeling. I know that I could, what it's doing, there's the touch buttons, that the touch activated ones isn't that good. Well, in my opinion, that's just my opinion, I prefer actual buttons. Mark 4's got the touch sensitive. As you'll see on my channel if you're interested, if I remember, I'll put a link up in the description. If not, it's not that far behind this video. So the usual steering I will adjust. Pull that lever down, pull the rack up, you can adjust the angle, and you can adjust the rack in and rack out. I'd have the rack out, and I just push that to lock it, so I get a good view of the dials. I've got the seat right back, gives me lots of foot room and leg room, and I could comfortably see the dials. And the thing is, I've got, for my height, I've actually got shortish arms, so I need the steering rack out. So I could adjust that quite easily on this, and it's the same with all the other Octavias I've been in, including my own. The stock controls with the flat, that's the stock controls for the indicators, main beam, cruise control, and that'll be for the barrel shift for the transmission for going up and down the gears. Wipers at the usual side, just your high and low, your tail wiper. Mirrors, it's adjust your mirrors, heated and exterior mirrors, left and right, just the same as you know what I've got. The usual handles. Showed you the glove compartment. Door pockets, big door pockets. That's all your window controls. Got a nice sort of carbon fibre. I mean, this being a high end, bar top, near the top of the range model, it's got the carbon fibre effect. Anyway, I don't know if it's probably just the effect. Nice chrome handles, usual. Just the usual sort of stuff in that there. So I'll go into sit in the back, and I'll give you sort of what it's like in the back of the Octavia. Now I've got the seat, it's got rear footwell lights as well. Wow. Now I've got the driver's seat right back as far as it could go, and you can see how much room there is behind where I'm sitting, behind the driver. As I say, I left the driver's seat right back, and I've still got plenty of leg room, or knee room. I'll show you. See that? And there's lots of headroom. There's lots of, well, there's ample width room. Like you say, the width of the cars, the Octavia is roughly the same sort of width as the normal cars in this class. the Class C cars. When you got the Class D car like your Skoda Superb, the one I mistakenly thought was a Mark IV Octavia, just briefly, I didn't get a good look at it, I was only just sort of deviating off from the main thing. I wouldn't have made that mistake, that's why I corrected that when I had a proper look at it. And I realised it was the Skoda Superb, which is a Class D car, that's just class segment size up from the Octavia. And then these cars might be a little bit wider. The platform which is built on is a bit wider. The Volkswagen Audi platform, like that of the Volkswagen Passat, and the Skoda Superb they'll share the same platforms, and they're a little bit wider. Platform meaning the chassis, if you like. You could look at, although it's not actually built, it's a monocoque bodywork, monocoque design. So it's not got a chassis, it's not a body and chassis, but you could refer to it as a chassis, I suppose. It's the underpinnings, the way that everything is, the main drive line and how the suspension's all set up. It's known as the platform. Well, the Skoda Octavia platform shares the same platform as the Volkswagen Golf, which is in the size down from the Passat. But the Octavia will have it'll have a longer wheelbase. It's a longer car than the Golf. The width it's got to be roughly the same because it's the same platform. So the width wise, this bags of room. As I say, you can see how much room I've got. There's plenty of headroom, and 6 foot, and there's all this headroom, and you know how much knee room I've got. See that? Loads of knee room, and I've got size 12 shoes, and there's plenty of room for that. And that, bear in mind, is with the driver's seat right back. The driver's seat is right back as far as it will go, and I've still got this room. So you can imagine just what it's like if the seat was further forwards. You could do a comfortable sitting here quite comfortably. You get another big adult on this side as well. You could get 3 adults in here, but the centre one might be a little bit squeezed. I'd say the width of the car is similar to that of the other cars in its Class C segment. But you maybe get a smaller, a kid or something in the centre, and you'll get another. But you'll get 4 big adults in here, no bother at all, comfortably, and a kid in the centre of the back seat. Or you could squeeze in 3 big adults, or medium, or standard size adults. So the usual handrails, the lights at I'll show you that actually. The lights, interior lights are the same, nice buttons to operate them, one at each side. It's got the vents, like mine's has got this as well. It's got the rear vents, it's got door pockets, the back seat back pockets as well. The back door's got the door pocket. It's got the usual, the stereo speakers in the doors. There's one there as well at the front. Might just be able to make that grill out. That's for the hi-fi system. It's got the rear armrest as well. Yep, it's got all that. Mine's just got that as well. Cup holders. Yeah, usual. Nice big parcel shelf. I've got a few pictures actually. Right, so that's a wee bit of the back. So I've shown you all around the car. I've showed you the inside the boot, or the hatchback. I've showed you under the bonnet. I've showed you the front. I've showed you the rear. Now it's time to do the drive. Excuse me a minute. A wee bit of footage of that car driving again on the outside before I take over the drive. So it's a nice looking car. I'll try and get the engine sound as well. So he's just moving the car so you can get one out there, and I'll start getting test driving it. Cheers. So where was I now? I was just showing you, I was just giving you a sort of summary as to what I showed you. So I'm just going to nip to the bog, then I'll get the camera stand, I'll get it on the windscreen, and I'll get out and drive it. You'll get to hear it going, what it sounds like. I'll take it to Longforgan and back. That's the motorway practice. So I think I've showed you all the exterior, the interior, the under the bonnet, in the boot, in the front compartments, rear compartments. I've showed you underneath. Now it's time to drive it. So keys are in there. I'm just going to quickly nip to the toilet and then I'll get my camera stand and we'll get chatting on. Okay, see you in a bit, see you in a couple of minutes. So I'm just getting comfortable. What I'm doing is I'm just getting everything adjusted again, and then I'll get driving this thing. So I'll show you this for the height. So you take your weight off and you just do that, and that, as you're raising the height with that lever there, that adjusts the height of the seat, the driver's seat. For sliding it back, that's the lever for sliding the seat back or forward, a bit near the right back, and the usual dial for the adjusting the back angle, so you can adjust the back of the seat angle with that. And I've got the steering wheel set the way I want it, and the mirrors I can adjust them quite easily with the electrical mirror setup. Right, I'll get the camera set as well. Nope. Press record, never mind. I'm trying to just finalise, adjust it. I'm not going to edit it. It just makes it easier for me just to put everything in as a one. I'll just load the movie app up and just throw it all in the app and press the process, and that'll be the video done. It saves a lot of time. I won't adjust the setup the last time because we got the wrong. I'll show like I'm driving on the left hand side when it's a right hand side drive car. It's just because of the inversion of the video. I think that'll do it. So I'll just get in a. That'll do. There, you can see me, you can hear what I'm saying, you can get a little bit of the road view ahead. Let's get this fired up now, let's get this going. So it's usual, foot on the brake. Start it up, it's in park. I'll get start cooling it down here, it's a little bit. It's actually freezing outside, but it's a bit warm in here because of the sun rays coming in. The ultraviolet from the sun is heating the inside up. It's like a greenhouse, so it's really warm inside, but it's freezing out there. Air care, and just fiddling about with the settings here just to get the temperature comfortable, like I think that's not bad at that. It's 20 degrees with the fan, just the fan with the dial. You just turn the knob and then it adjusts it. Turn it clockwise it goes faster, turn it anti-clockwise it goes slower. Just the usual drill. Right, let's get Chapman on it, let's get going. Right, what are now? The mirrors are fine actually. I'll move that out the road a bit. Right, that's everything. Right, let's get going then. Right, so usual, comfortable seat belts. You can adjust the seat belt with this thing here. There's that wee lever. It's because my arms are sore, I can't really stretch in as well. So shoulders are up for a while. It's getting a bit stiff. As I say, I want to get back to the gym and get myself fit again. I was, once upon a time, I was very fit. Getting old. Right, usual electric mirrors, windies, kind of usual drill. Right. Now I know from all the automatics, so one thing you didn't do is hit the brake pedal thinking there's a clutch. Don't do that. You'll do that once and you'll not forget it. And the drive, oh right, here we go. Good to go. So it's just head out for the highway. Oh yeah, oh, this thing shifts. Oh aye, torquey engine. Right, I'm going to go that way, down onto the Kingsway. So, in fact, what I'll do is I'll burrow in the circle. It's a bit of a, unless you turn right out here, something's a bit tricky. That's not bad, I'll get there. Right, so I'm going to go down the Kingsway along the motorway towards Long Florgan, and then I'll maybe get some pictures. So it's got VRS mode, so it's in VRS mode. Mirrors are fine. Nice comfy car. So I'll just see what it's like on the road. I'll floor it when I get out onto the motorway, when it's safe to do so, obviously. Because it's, you know what I mean, you've got to be on. That's what happens. You could be something too generous letting people out, and then you get stuck behind the lights again. Oh, I'm just kidding. Remember, when it's been an automatic, it goes when you're, you know, the idle speed. It's like torque converter. Well, it's not got a torque converter. It's on an automatic, the torque converter, when it's idling it and it's in gear, it'll creep forward because its engine's turning the torque converter through the gear train. That's why it won't stall, being an automatic. But this won't stall because it's a dual mass flywheel. Is that dual mass or double clutch? It's like, you've got two input shafts. You've got input shaft for the first gears, the odd number gears, then you've got another input shaft for the even number gears, and then you lock. What it does is it engages the next gear. It pre-selects it before it actually engages it. So as one input shaft disengages, the other one's engaging simultaneously, so you get the quick gear shift. It's a direct shift gearbox on this one. So it's like automated manual transmission. Whereas the other automatics, conventional one I suppose you could look on it, is that it's got a torque converter with planetary gears in it. So it's torque converter slippage. So first time I've drove a Mark III VRS, and I tell you, this thing feels like it wants to go. I can't wait to put the foot down on this, like on the straight bit, sensibly up to the national speed limit. You know, the engine's warmed up, so you don't do that when it's cold. Let you hear the engine. That Jaguar on the offside there, he knows he could probably take me, like, that's a 4-litre engine, I think, with that thing. You know, but this thing shifts, but the engine's up to temperature, so you never floor it when it's cold. You let the oil and everything get up to temperature. You don't floor a cold engine, you always give the engine up to operating temperature and that. And, you know, this car's got 80,000 miles on it as well, remember. So it's going down the gears nice and good, nice and smooth. So I'm just heading on to the Dundee to Perth Road, the A90 rather, it used to be the A95. Fucking hell, that was the speed. One thing you do though is you've got to be sensible, because this will get you to the speed limit very quickly, and you don't want to, you know, you drive sensibly, safely all the time. It doesn't matter how much performance your car is, you drive properly. Like, you can hear that. This doesn't have lane assist or anything like that. The Mark IVs, the later ones, had lane assist. This is earlier, as I say, this is the Mark III. This is just, you know, just fully manual steering. There's none of this lane assist stuff or anything like that. You're actually driving it yourself. Yeah. Could you hear the engine? Could you hear that sort of throatiness? It's sitting at just under 2,000. It's about 1,800 RPM. It's sitting at 70. Just under 70 mile an hour. The engine's RPM's at 1800, it's in, well, whatever gear it is in, it's direct shift gearbox, so touching 70 now, and it's just a tad above 1800 RPM, and it drops down the gear when you accelerate it, but I can't, obviously, because of the busyness of the road. There's enough petrol in it, I was just making sure. So See, this is the thing, it's a busy road. Again, this time you can't really get an open bit of road. I can't go too far either because it's not, you know what I mean, it's... Oh, come on, I'll go to Errol. Shouldn't have, but I won't. Hopefully it won't send a search party out for me. Errol's just a couple of miles past Long Forgan. I said I was going to Long Forgan, but Errol's just a wee bit. Tons of petrol. No, I won't take liberties, I'm not going to take the piss. I'll obviously just keep it within range, like, you know, I'm not going to go driving it for the whole day, like, because it's very good of them to do this. And I'm interested in getting one in the future, so, and just learning. I'm actually learning about the car and learning about how it handles, everything about it, you know, the practicalities of it. That's what a test drive is really, the potentials I'll get in the future. So it sits really well for 83,000 miles, well 83,032 miles what this car's done, and there isn't any wobble or nothing. There's no steering wobble or wheel balance wobble. Everything's tight, you know, everything feels tight on it. There's no wallowing about all over the road, and it feels like it's sitting solid on the road. It's been looked after. Performance, as I say, was really good. Nice smooth gearbox as well. So I'll come off at the next exit and I'll start sort of heading back in, because I'll maybe take it on some of these actual roads, the country roads, on the way back in. Or should I? Yeah, you know what, maybe better not do that, because that might take a bit too long. Well, I'll go up to the antique place and then that'll be it, and then I'll turn and come back. That's as far as I'll go. I don't want to go any further, because I don't know what, you know, I just rip the piss and take it all day for everything. It's just a test drive, eh? But I've got to get the hang of it, I've got to get the feel of everything, so I just taking it on different types of roads right off. Because this will be the country roads, the windiness of the country roads, so I'll be able to test drive it on there as well. It's a nice day for it. The air conditioning, all the ventilation's nice and fresh. So I'll let you hear the engine. Nice power steering. It's electric power steering on this. Electric assist. It's just the same as what mine uses. So there's nothing behind, there's nothing in front. I'm just going to do a standing start. I was safe, I know what's behind, I know there's nothing there. I feel like I'm going to floor it. It's clear. That's it, 75. It's a 60 mile an hour limit. I can't go any quicker, but before you test drive cars or get familiar with what the brakes are like, you know, if you're taking the speeds, make sure your brakes at that are good before you go to fast driving speeds. Make sure they work, make sure they're going to stop how you expect them, that everything is as it should be. That's a nice place there on the left, by the way. You get a nice steak pie out of that truck stop. Shoe on then. So I plugged that. So I'm going up in the country roads here. Oh, this is bliss. I'm driving a VRS. Taking these suspension's really good. So I've only been driving it for 13 minutes. So it's just a couple of miles away from where I was. This is really well. This taking these corners, it sits level. Yeah, the anti-roll bars will be playing its part. sitting level, you know, it's tight. It's like if it's firm on the ground when you're going in these corners, right? Oh, that's the antique place on the right. What I'll do is I'll go up. I'll just go up to the next day and then I'll turn after that. Yeah, so as they say, you drive sensibly, get down to the normal speed limits, and that's 40 here, so you respect all the roads. So just because you've got a performance car doesn't mean you get speed, you just got to drive properly road-wise and that, you know. It's down to 20 here, which that's what they say you got to do, so you got to do 20. It used to be 40 here, but no well. You just got to do it, right by the rules, by the road rules. Yeah, it's, I'll go up to the next, I'll turn up there because you get a nice photo shot there, and then I'll come back. So there's a loads of different, it's in VRS mode at the moment. I didn't ken all the other settings, I didn't want to go fidgeting about with them. I don't have time for that, I'll be there for hours. I'm no expert on computers, like, but it's all touchscreen anyway. You got a big menu there as you would have saw earlier. I'll go through here, I'll go up to the, I'll just go up to the next one then, I'll turn there. There's a nice wee area where I can get a nice photo shot of it as well. It's a nice day for it, so it's not often you get weather like this, although it's freezing as well. You don't normally get a nice sunny day in Scotland. It's usually pissing me rain. So I'm taking the opportunity to, you know, I might not get this opportunity again until the day until I buy it, I suppose, when I'm in the future. But I'm learning it all. I'm very impressed with it. So. Plenty of torque. So there's no torque steer or anything, the steering's still focused. Twin exhausts, one at each side. It's like it splits. There's a Y that comes out and then it branches off as two at each side. Sorry, one at each side, branches off into two. I hope they're still busy and haven't noticed it in a way for us that long. I'll go up this way. Speed limit. Has anybody got 15 grand they could give me? I could just buy this now. Just transfer it back up. And I could do reviews for you. Right, I'm going to stop here and get a view. Some pictures with that nice view. Silky smooth. Oh, it's got a stop start. I didn't know that. I like the good old fashioned handbrake. Right, so into drive, and the engine goes off. You press the foot brake to release it. Right, I'll turn it off and I'll get some photos of the outside. Because it's a lovely part. That's kind seat part of the Sidlaw house there, by the way. I don't know, you might have seen that. I should have maybe filmed it. I'll maybe do it like that on the way back. So we're at a nice part of Angus. That's King's Seat. I've been up there. I think it's 355 metres above sea level. Part of the Sidlaw Hall range. And that road goes to Balbiggie, the Scottish village of Balbiggie. And I got myself here in this machine. The Skoda Octavia mk3 VRS petrol 2 litre. And then we're getting a nice scenery to get some photos of it. I'll just walk around it again where it's parked it. And that is some machine that So I'm going to get myself pictures of that, pictures of myself posing in front of it. It's a nice quiet bit of the road this. Right, I'll go and get some photos of it. Right, so I suppose now it's time to get the car turned and get heading back to Dundee. And I'll record the drive back as well for you. This has been absolutely brilliant. This is a great Friday afternoon. It's my day off my work, but I'm actually on holiday, so great start to my holiday. Lovely day like this in the countryside in a VRS. Oh, brilliant. I think I'll mention as well, but the Mark III Octavia is that it's the conventional keys that you use. The Mark IV had a keyless ignition, whereas the Mark III's, on this one anyway, has got the conventional keys, as you'll see. It's just usual drill, you know, your usual buttons for unlock, your boot, your locking, and it's just proper ignition switch. So that's all I like it. I like the old school way of things. So, and that's all the touchscreen stuff with all the computers and everything. That's all the dials for the adjusting the temperature. I was doing that earlier. So, right, let's hit the road. So before I do, I'm going to get that nice picture of that. Oh, that's a good shot. I'll get a view of that as well, because I could record and do pictures at the same time on this phone. So that's what I'm doing. Right. Oh no. Right. I had to delete a couple of files because I was hitting the record while I was setting up the camera. I've moved it down there, so it's hard to get this synced up and then thinging it, you know, compiling it. Right, no, what did I take out with? I took the car, left that in here, no matter leaving that in. I've got my own car keys. Right, let's get this fired up. Park. So you start up, foot on the brake, make sure it's in park, turn the key, start it up, and then you put it in drive. Don't release that handbrake until you're ready to go, because it will move, because remember, the automatics will move instantly because of the idle speed. Right, so in drive. You could do it manually. I'm not familiar with all the manual stuff. You could hear it torquing up there. That's with the handbrake on. That's just, see that? It's moving with the handbrake on because it's in drive. That's just the idle speed. That's the idle speed. So when you're actually wanting to stay stationary, just for safety, put it in park. That locks the transmission. So your handbrake's on, it's in park. But when your handbrake's on and you put it in drive, the torquiness is the idle, as you can feel it's going against the brakes. You don't do that, right? When you release that handbrake, you keep your foot on the brake, because it'll just start moving off. So if you're in a tight space with parked cars and stuff, or if you're at a quayside, you know, if it's sheer drop, then just be aware of that. That's just if you're no used to automatics, because it's funny that I drive automatic buses all day long, but when it comes to a car or a van or something, it's all manuals I've been driving for years and years. Well, since 1995. It's all been manuals, but I'm not familiar with automatic. Right, what I'm going to do is get back. So I think it's easier if I go straight on to get turned. Yeah, so I'll go straight on. Handbrake, I'll chap on. Yeah, it's probably safer if I went straight on the turn. So I'm going further out just to find a safer place to turn to get back. Maybe safer to turn at Balbeggy actually. Oh, this is brilliant. No, seriously, I'll get a good place to turn, but I have to go along here. You might get the, I don't know what, I look at the view, but I hope you can see that. It's kind of see. Press the accelerator, you feel the gearbox getting ready for going either up or down the gear. You notice it doing that. It'll just take a just a wee bit of, just a slight delay, just to think, it's assessing, the computer's assessing the whole heart and pressing on the accelerator, how much engine load there is for this torque band due to the map, the engine map, to select which gears appropriate. So it's sort of going through the process, and then you just notice a slight, just a very slight delay in that, but it's just automatic, it's just thinking what gear to go in. See, I dropped down the gear because I went up a slight gradient there. Nah, it's probably safer if we go straight on, isn't it? Yeah, I'll head out to. Yeah, I'll go straight on. It's probably safer. Come on, I don't know when I come out of this car. I'll get turned up there. I'll be there pretty quick this time, I'll tell you. So I can't go fast here because this house is a bowl. So there's junctions and stuff, you know, hidden junctions. It's okay to accelerate up to the speed limit. Maybe just a, you know, if you go a tad above, just a tad above, you just get right back down again to the speed limit. You know, I only went a tad above. That was all, just a tad. Seriously, you'll be up to speed in no time with this. You've got to drive it properly, but it's bloody quick. Well, I want to check that view. Oh, that's Shahal, you know, the distance, but I mean, I just love to drive it right now. You know, obviously I won't, but you know what I mean. Ah, damn, I've missed that turning. Shit, I should have turned there, eh? That means I'll go straight on. I'll just keep going to get turn. Because I was distracted there, so. Nah, it's enough petrol, eh? I've only been in it for a few minutes, like half an hour. Nah, I mean, I'd buy this car if it's thing. This must be the longest test drive. Right, so it's getting really narrow and tight here. The steering wheel's shaped with a nice grips on it as well. Right, and just about Balwiggy, so I'm just going to turn Kinrossy. Yeah, oh gosh, I was going to wait for the clutch pedal. Fiver in or something if need be. So watch for this bit here, like, because suspension's really good. You feel the way absorb that bit of a hump back bridge kind of thing there. There's a little bit of a hump, so it's just shock absorbers to take off the bumps, like. So yeah, you've got to be careful. There's hedges on both sides of this road, so you can't go at any speed on this because there's too many hidden tips, too many hazards. And the hedges, that's a pet hate of mine, there's hedges on both sides of the roads. I hate that because it obstructs your view when it's coming round the corners. I like to be able to see right ahead, and I don't like these bloody hedges, you know. England's bad for that. A lot of the English country roads have got hedges on both sides, and you know, they just do bloody dangerous, right? So I'm gonna have to really get down on the speed now because this is bottle area. So let's do a sensible speed here. Right, there's a nice substation. I quite like these things, so I'm going to stop here and I'm really going to turn here this time, I know. Oh yeah, that's quite nice. Yeah, I'll get a couple of pictures here then. I might have to nip out for a comfort stop and then I'll get in back. So I've got this in reverse. Oh, it's got stop start. So again, you just feather, you don't even need to touch the throttle. You just keep your foot over the brake and just use your brake for manoeuvring, because the idle does all the thing. And this thing's got a fast idle. Oh, it's got a torque idle. Right, I can't sit here any length of time because it is access point. I'm just nipping out for the just to stretch for a minute. And I'll get back to you in a second. In fact, I'll get a couple of pictures then I'll do that. Some photos. It's quite a nice view. Nice, eh? Right, let's get. Oh, well, big truck coming down there. Right, no, I can't sightsee it. We'll have to get going now. I'll just see you show that good class. Try a quad axle truck. Right, that's better. I've not had dinner yet, so I've got an empty stomach. Your liquids of drink just goes right through me. So I do want to drink more, don't I? Anyway, lovely car it is. What's it going for? 15.5 grand. So, then we got 15.5 grand they want to give me, and I'll do car reviews all the time in it for years. Right, start it up, let's go. Right. That's recording, that is recording, that's fine. So let's get this back to its rightful owner. Because I'll be sending a helicopter in the search party for me. I've got everything in there. So we just got the speed right down here because we're coming in a busy build-up area. So there's pedestrians and all sorts on these country lanes that, as you can see, you know, you have to respect that because there's no pavements, so they've got nowhere else to go, have they? So all the cyclists and pedestrians share the same road. This is just a country lane. Tractors, bin lorries, all sorts of trucks and all sorts of vehicles. So you got to see the hazards. You got to be careful. Because when you touch the accelerator, it just goes. But you know, you got to drive sensibly. You got tons of acceleration, like, you know, for getting overtaken and that, and lots of torque. The facts and figures and that, I'll stick that up in the video when I compile it. Got all the brake horsepower and newton meter torque, two-film torque. Stick with that in writing on the video when if I remember, I'll do that when I compile it. I'll put the links in the description as well for the other videos that I've done on car reviews. I had to get stuck behind them. See, everything's slow now. Everything's slow coach now. So wipers and that are all good. Rear wipers, usual drill, just maybe the jets. Yeah, just push down on it. Push the lever towards the dashboard to get the rear wiper on. And to get the windscreen wiper on, the front windscreen, you just pull the lever towards you. So you're pushing it away for you to get the rear one on and pull it towards you to get the front one done. There's a lot of salt and that in the air and the roads, and that can get into the jets and that. Because the roads are exceptionally salty because it's exceptionally cold for for the middle of March. What is the day of the day anyway? I can't remember what the day is. What's the day? 12. Is it 11th? It's 11th of March or something. 2023. I remember back in 2003, right? This time in 2003, I remember it was out with my t-shirt on, and I was cooking, you know, like not a barbecue, but it was the weather was roasting. I was out enjoying it, t-shirt weather. Some was splitting the payments, and that was March, April 2003. You know, and now look at it, blooming places in England, there's snow and everything, bloody freezing. Weather's all over the place. Right, well, I've got to scan your truck. This road's, I had to get stuck behind these. I'm tempted just to let them go on. See, that lorry's got to move in the middle of the road because of these branches, because these trees are overhanging. I drive buses, and there's a route where I take the bus out to Perth going via the country roads, and you've got to stay in the centre of the roads where there's branches and low overhanging hazards for a high-sided vehicle. So they sit in the centre, because if they move to the edges, it's going to get swiped with the low branches. So you don't think of that when you're driving a car, because you don't have the height issues, but when you've got the driving high-sided vehicles, lorries, buses, you've got to bear that in mind, that these branches are all overhanging. And so if you're on country roads, like you say, you've got a fast car, you could come across a lorry coming right at you, because it's going to be in the middle to avoid low branches. So if you see there's low branches and you're going towards it, just think there could be a lorry or a bus in the centre having to avoid it. And if you're tanking along at speed in a performance car on these roads, you know, you got to be careful. It's getting warm again. What's going on? Turn that temperature down a tad. It's getting a bit hot. It's 20 degrees. Yeah, just watch for that. Because the few big vehicles like that sit in the centre. So that's why you've got to really drive at a sensible speed. But this is getting a bit boring though. Fucking hell, they get stuck behind them. Sorry for that. God, why did it have to happen now? Blooming sod's law. I wanted to get chapping on, I wanted to get accelerated. It's stuck behind these. Oh, he's turning off. You can see his indicator. So, but I wish they'd turn off for the ones in front of me. It's just boring them. I might just sit and wait. It's typical, that is it. I'm going to pull in here and wait till I'm going to put a bit of distance between me and them, because I kind of get performance and so I'll stick it in park. Stop start. So I'll get it on. I just tabbed the accelerator there, and that brings the engine back on to idle. And looking at the touchscreen, in fact I'll show you the touchscreen. I'll have to do a different file for that. That's like showing you the dials in action. So I'm not going to touch any of that, because when you've got the media, but I've not got time. I can't play music anyway on a copyright. I get copyright strike. So, as I say, it was in a VRS mode. You could dual control them as well for so the passengers could adjust their temperature, and the driver could adjust his or her temperature. That engine's gone off again, so I must idle for a bit and then it shuts off. So to put the engine back on again, should you want to, you just simply do this. And that gets it, but kick starts it. Now I think I've put a bit of distance between them now. Right, I think that's enough distance. So let's get going before somebody else goes in front. Maybe I can catch up. I was only doing 60. there. You only do 60 on this road, 60mph limit. You drive sensible and you drive according to the conditions. But seriously, you do. Try to get some of the outside noise. I'll see if we can get some of the outside noise. I just get window, unfortunately. Yeah, I've probably just got a lot of wind. Because that's that cyclist I passed about half an hour ago. This is all, well, for him it was all uphill. It was an uphill climb all the way from B90, so we're heading back to the sort of frozen up. Got good brakes. It's got to though, you know, performance car. That's a brilliant view, by the way. You get a nice view of River Tay there in Fife. You can see right over. It's just a great day for it, like. See, I didn't want it with the windy because you'll just get air noise, kind of wind noise. I'm going to do a video like so make sure the potholes. That is recording, that's fine. So it's down to 20. That's an electric Tesla coming up, by the way. Fully electric. And see the acceleration, and that's brilliant. I test drove a Volvo C40 last week, or the week before last, and the acceleration of that's not to 60 in 4.4 seconds. Fully electric Volvo C40. I couldn't do a video on it though, unfortunately. I wasn't permitted to do that for YouTube. So I've got to respect the wishes, but it was very good of them and grateful of them, and I really appreciated them allowing me to get a shot. And test drive was really, I think, just shifts like it. But if I choose petrol. And a petrol head. I grew up with petrol engines. I like the smell of petrol. I just like petrol. I know how they work. I know how the engines work. And familiar with it. All the cars. Don't get me wrong, the electric ones impress me, but I mean, the acceleration of that Volvo C40, it was like going to the moon. It just made a big impression on me. It was amazing. So yeah, I like them, but it's just because of the sentimental reasons. You know, the nostalgia. We grew up with petrol engines. It's always been there with my, you know, internal combustion engine. So let's just caught up with these vans again. So I'm just coming up to on the left there. You'll see the antique, the Abernite Antique Art Centre. I can see the Tay Rail Bridge from here as well. A nice view of it from here, if you're ever up this way. Scottish Arts in the Art Centre. Ah, why did I have to catch up with them? It's boring. It's alright if I'm not doing a test drive, but this is all about test drive. So I'm gonna have to. It's not typical, is it? Of all times, I had to catch up with a slow coach. Spoiling my fun. I have to get some dinner, get a bit hungry now. I'm going to get this back, get a spot at lunch. Now I get this video all compiled up. I've got a few other things to do today. Yeah, as I say, I'm quite good. MPG and all that, I don't know. You probably got all that in the trip computer. I'll tell you the miles per gallon and all that sort of stuff. I'll be on there. Seriously, I'm getting delayed if that's. So I hope they're doing. I hope they're doing. I'm thinking they've took the mickey, but I've been stuck behind this. I mean, they can't go fast, obviously. I'm not blaming them. They're just driving sensibly. I just blame my luck. So I'm blaming Sod's Law. That's what I'm blaming. I'm blaming Sod's Law. Stuck behind them. I could actually pass them safely now. That was a kick down, by the way. There's a kick down on this accelerator, and you press it, floor it, and there's another wee bit after you floor it, and that's the kick down. It drops down a gear automatically. So I used it there to pass the vehicles safely, because you don't want to be driving on the wrong side of the road any longer than you have to. So I was doing so in the quickest possible manner, in the safest possible manner, and which was in this case the quick manner, just by flooring it. I've got the horsepower to do it. It's got all the electronic stability control, so that we had these slip controls, so the wheels don't spin and all that. That was that place. So you get a nice meal out there, by the way, the horseshoe calf. So a lot of lorries go there. If you're a lorry spotter, I like lorries, go there and see loads of them. Right. So I'll give them a bit of distance and I'll try that kick down again. That was quite something that. I've got to give him a bit of distance. They'll probably sit in the outside lane. It'll just be, that's what I want, isn't it? 6,000 RPM. Oh, I just did a tad above the speed limit there. That was all. Just a tad. That was all. Longer, but I say that you can't do speeds like that. Yeah, seriously, you can't. That would just be insane. I saw I would reach that speed there and no bother if you've got to screw the head on, you know what I mean? It's no excuse, even though it's a fast car, you still got to be sensible, because you get a bad nuts at your, so, you got to be really sensible, like, I'm not doing that. No way. I was just, that was it. I've had my. That's fast enough. Yeah. This will shift. You don't need that unless you're going to a race track or something. So you can get carried away with it, quite easily. You can have fun with it, but you got to be sensible. I hope you can hear that exhaust. It's a little bit, there's a bit of a wind there that was holding the road quite well, getting like side wind from the weather. Yeah, and as I say, it's got 83,000 miles on it. It's not my car, I can't just go and floor it all the time like that. It's got service, oil change, I have to be check all the tyre pressures and stuff before if you buy the thing and you're going to do performance on it, make sure the tyres, brakes and everything's in good condition, make sure the car's in good nick, make sure everything, the cooling systems, all the fluid levels are correct, because you're working the engine when you do that. you're working the whole driveline, the brakes, everything's got to be up to it. Putting the car through its paces, you've got to make sure it's in good health, because the components are working at its maximum. So that's a wide load, that, so you don't want to be passing that on a circle. So I'll just get ahead of him. I won't have any problems getting ahead of him. It's the Escort vehicle up ahead. But it's a Stago 1, I think that is. Special general loads of goods or something. Nah, I'm not going to floor it anymore, just taking it easy now, because I've had my fun here. I know the pubber's there if I need it. You're not going to outrun a VRS, mate. I better get back in, because I just said that. It could be a blooming, God knows what, it was a Volkswagen. Same group as this, in fact, group. Volkswagen Audi group. Right, let's get this back to its rightful owner. You wouldn't, these things have all got anti-theft and everything, immobilisers, etc., alarms, blah blah blah. Just make sure you keep the keys with you. That's the only way a thief will get your car, is if you, well, that's one easier way for them to get your car, is if you've got your keys. Make sure they don't get them and cut them, you know, get a key cut. So if they take your keys without you're aware, and then get them cut and then put them back, and they've got a spare set of keys, you know, then they can get yours. Because the old ways, hot wired cars are long, well, I wouldn't say long gone, but probably like, where am I going to park this now? Probably where I've got it, I guess. Yeah, I'll reverse it back in there. So I brought it back one bit, just a little less petrol, a wee bit lighter, because let's say some fuel was, I burnt some fuel. That was a great test, I will be thanking him. I'll get my pint when it's a due my beer. Right, where am I going to plant this here? Will it? Yeah, get it in there. So just to say, just feather the, just hover over the brake pedal. Because the engine idle will do the rest for you, like you don't need to, so it's got the rear brake sensors. That'll do. I think that's fine. Switch everything off, the windows are shut. Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, I don't know where to go now. I want to do that again. I want to go get my dinner and do another one. Yeah, spot on. That was brilliant, that. So I was just going to round the video off. If I do any more, I'll just make the video too long. Absolutely brilliant, that. So I'll get this video put up on my channel as soon as I can. Get it all edited up, compiled up, and then hopefully you'll enjoy it. So like I say, that's the review of the Skoda Octavia Mark III VRS 2 litre petrol, and it's a DSG direct shift gearbox on this one. It's a lovely black colour, the black alloys. Yeah, I'd buy this in a heartbeat. Just somebody fund me a bit, like. Right, okay, so that'll do then. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and just see what else I put on my channel. Right, I'm a bit hungry. I get a bite to eat though. Right, I'll catch you later on. See you later.